Peace, and peace. What's going on, y'all? Rob Blackstorm here. What I want to talk about today is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. And I want to tell y'all to fear the walking dead. That's right, fear the walking dead. Fear the people around you that are zombies. Now, why am I talking about this subject? Because the thing is this: when we come into spirituality, when we come into this way of life or this walk of life or this culture, right? Because this is really a lifestyle if you're living it right, which means that you're immersed in this culture every day. You're saying your affirmations, you're doing your rituals on new moons, full moons, you're, casting whatever you're casting, and you're creating things that move you along spiritually. You're creating an environment around yourself that reflects who and what you want to be and what you want to manifest into this world. So you're living a spiritual culture, right? Now, as you're living this spiritual culture, what happens is you want to save everybody, right? You want to save the world, so to speak. And everybody that you see that does not know what you know or does not understand what you understand, you want to educate them. You want to tell them who you are. You want to tell them what you are. You want to tell them what you know. And the reason you're doing it is for good reasons. You want them to be as happy as you are. You want them to not be in the dark, right? You want them to be aware, to wake up, right? To be woke to what's going on, to that, to what's not real and what is reality, to the tools and the tricks of the Bible, or the tools and the tricks of Islam, or the tools and the tricks of the government, or the tools and the tricks of society, and the tools and the tricks that are in education, in the education system. So we want people to be educated to what's going on so that they're no longer misled. That's a great thing, right? But the question you have to ask yourself is, who are you here to save ultimately? And what are you here to do? Now, we have to fear the walking dead as we're going along this walk. Now, follow me. To some of you may have watched the TV show The Walking Dead. If you haven't, you're still familiar with what a zombie is at some point. And a zombie is basically a dead person that appears alive. Zombies are usually flesh eating creatures, right? They eat your flesh, they eat your body. That's what they feed off of. They feed off of you. That's what a zombie is. And the thing is, when you're doing this type of spiritual work, let this pass real quick, this ambulance. But when you're doing the spiritual work, and let's say let's say you live in the world of the Walking Dead. So you live in a world that where there's human survivors and there's zombies. And if you're trying to save everyone, or you're trying to bring world peace, or unite everyone in the world to live a righteous way of life, or to live a spiritual life, or to live a life that is where you worship Satan, whatever you're into, right? To live a life that is along your path, and you're trying to bring everybody to the light. Well, eventually, if you're trying to bring everybody, you're going to bring some zombies, right? If you're living in the world of the Walking Dead, you're going to bring some zombies with you that you're trying to save. And guess what? Those zombies are going to feed on you, and they're going to feed on your flesh. And what that means is basically they're going to vamp your energy. They're going to suck your energy. You ever been around someone, and I know you have, but you ever been around someone that once you leave them, you feel drained? They're complaining, they're gossiping, they're negative, they don't like to do anything, they're not upbeat, they're questioning everything, not confident. How long do you want to be around that person? You don't want to be around them long. But what happens is we have family, we have friends, we have acquaintances, we have people that we knew for a long time, and these people are literally zombies that we bring along in our life. And we're trying to show these zombies how to be humans, right? Or better yet, we're trying to show humans how to be gods. We are gods, and we are the divine. And we're trying to show zombies how to be God. Imagine taking a zombie and trying to make a zombie into a human. It's impossible. So the thing is, we have to fear the walking dead out here. It's not enough to simply do ritual. It's not enough to simply do our mantras. It's not enough to simply do spiritual baths. It's not enough to simply cast spells. What we have to do is enhance our inner character because we have within us chakras that are activated by light and sound and vibration and thought, right? And this goes into our three brains, right? We have the brain, which is the stomach, right? The stomach growls. So the stomach corresponds to sound. If you're hungry, your stomach is going to growl. It's going to make a sound. And this is also the gut. The gut is the seat of intuition. So when we talk, we say, does this person have guts? Does this person have courage? Does this person, he has guts, good instinct, right? Comes from the gut, right? So that is the first brain, the stomach, food, right? We need that to have fuel, to have energy, right? It is it's the first brain. Then we have the heart. The heart corresponds to light because we are light. This is pumping energy. This is literally, the heart literally pumps, if you think about it, it's pumping light into your body because it's pumping everything that is in your body, and everything in your body is giving you energy. And what is energy broke down to the smallest form? If you take the thing called energy and you break it down, you're going to have light, right? Energy is going to be broke down to light. So your heart, which is pumping all the energy in your body, corresponds to your light. That is your second brain. So your first brain, which is your stomach, corresponds to sound, right? If you have gas, it's going to come out of your stomach. Your second brain corresponds to your heart, which goes along with light. Then you have your third brain, which is this brain. And this brain is apart from your sound and light brain, right? You have three brains. This is really the Holy Trinity that is in you. You have your sound brain, which is your stomach. You have your light brain, which is your heart. And you have your brain, right? Your first brain, your third eye, right? Your pineal gland. And this depends on your vision. It's not just your pineal gland. It's actually your your amygdala and your hippocampus, because your amygdala takes in the thoughts that you think, and your amygdala determines if it's good or bad, and then your hippocampus, which looks like a unicorn in your brain, stores them. And what happens is the pineal gland gives you visions and gives you downloads, and is your spiritual bridge into the subconscious mind, which the subconscious mind is or what we would call the mind, because we separate the subconscious and the conscious mind, but they really are one mind. You cannot speak, you cannot think if you're not using your subconscious mind, right? All the thoughts, all the words, the separate letters, the sounds, even the hand movements that I'm doing, all come from my subconscious mind. So I am making the subconscious conscious while I am speaking. Now, what this has to do with being the walking dead is we have to realize what light that we are taking in, meaning our perception. How do we see things? How do we view our life? What are we looking at, right? The symbol of courage and determination and willpower in ancient Kemet was the falcon, because of the falcon's gift of sight, right? And also the falcon's speed, but the falcon's hunting ability, but primarily it was the gift of sight, the gift of insight. The greatest god in Egypt, Osiris, right? Osiris? Pineal gland. The term iris is in Osiris. So that is your third eye. That is your vision, right? So your vision is determined by the light that you take in. The light that you take in determines the heart that you have, because he with great light is going to have great courage. He who has great courage is going to have great power, right? And that also determined by your gut, right? What do you stand on? What is your foundation? What is your belly? What type of food are you taking in? Not just physical food, which you should be taking in good physical food, because this body is a conductor of energy. That's why we are in flesh. We are really energy in flesh, what they call spirit in flesh, but spirit is really active energy. But we are active energy because our subconscious is already always moving. So it is spirit and flesh. But spirit, if you break down spirit to the lowest compound, you're going to have energy, right? Spirit contains the term spiral. Spirit. right? So we're dealing with a spiral of energy. So we have to really look at what we're taking in, the music that we listen to. I know, I remember listening in the morning to songs, right? The first thing in the morning, the first song you listen to. And the message might be some bullshit, but it's in the hook, right? It might be, uh, kill everybody walking, to kill everybody walking, don't, and you listening to kill everybody walking, right? And you repeating it first thing in the morning, and it's like a chant in your head, and it keeps going and going and going and going and going. You don't want to listen to that shit in the first thing in the morning, but think about the music that we might take in. That's the sound that's affecting our gut. That's affecting who we are. That's what we're digesting. That's affecting our mood. Music affects mood. And if you know about the gut gives off serotonin. Serotonin, that's where serotonin is really housed in your gut. And serotonin regulates your mood. So think about the music that we listen to. Music affects mood directly, right? So think about the music that we listen to in the mornings, or the music we're listening to before our beds, or the things that we're programming, the chants and the hooks that we're hearing on repeat. Also the things that we hear from our parents, from school, right? From the media, social media, reality shows, sports, talk shows, and the bamboozlement of just people that people follow on the internet, personalities, people, celebrities that people follow wholeheartedly no matter what they do, right? They just follow, they're fanatical. So, and we have people that are just, their perception is off. And look at the things that they feed us. Look at the things that they show us in the media on a day-to-day basis. Murders, deaths, bondage, killing. And it's not to say these things don't happen, right? Child abuse. It's not to say these things, rapes. It's not to say these things don't happen. But look at the frequency that is being shown. Then you finish watching the news, you have a cop show with the same thing. You have a reality show with violence in it and people backstabbing each other. You have, sitcoms with people backstabbing each other, and fake relationships that are modeled to look as real as possible so that they could sell ad dollars between commercials, or put the actual ad in a product that's in the show, so you don't even think that you're watching a commercial, because the commercial is part of the actual show, right? For instance, if you're looking at the main character and he grabs a bottle of Old Spice and he's holding up the Old Spice spray while he's doing his dialogue, that's a commercial. Most likely Old Spice paid for that. So the programming is real. And the programming is usually done through light and sound, which affects, again, light affects the heart, right? It's our energy center. That's why it's housed above the solar plexus. Solar being sun, solar light, right? The sun is the seat of the soul. Soul, SOL, heat, light. Soul is the sun, SOL is the sun. And then we have the brain. And the brain is the ultimate determiner. And that's what you control. You control what you take in. You control what you visualize. You control the visions in your head. Is the vision a bright future, or is the vision negativity? Is the vision what happened 2 years ago? What happened 10 years ago? Is the vision what happened the last 6 months? And if it's negative vision, have you figured out how to change it into a positive vision? Or are you stuck on the negativity? Are you listening to the negativity that your mama or your daddy told you when you was 8 and still holding on to it? Are you listening to the negativity that you got from your sister or your aunt, or your brothers, right? Or the people at your school, or the teacher in 5th grade who told you wasn't going to amount to nothing, and you still have that in your head? Or are you bringing your own light? Are you generating your own heat as the son of man? Are you turning your coal into diamonds by refining yourself constantly? The way you make a sword is you beat the steel, right? It's not easy. You got to continuing beat the steel and beat the steel and beat the steel so that you can mold the sword. It's just like a diamond. You have to crush that coal. It has to go through refinement in order for it to become a diamond. It's the same thing with us. And again, a lot of times we try to escape by saving the world, by trying to save the world. But fear the walking dead, because those zombies will eat you alive. People trying to save every black person on the planet, good luck. There's black people that would shoot you in the face just so that they could go viral and take a selfie right next to your dead body. This is the reality. Now, we may not want to imagine that, but that is the truth, right? There's people that will literally stab you, scrape, put the blood on their face, and take a selfie so they could go viral. This is the world that we live in. This is a world star type of world. So we have to really take in things and take in food for thought that's going to nourish us. We have to look at the things that we're watching on TV, the things that we're looking at on social media. Your timeline should reflect your highest ideals, your highest goals. I was on a train with this dude the other day, and he was on Instagram, and you could tell dude worked out. You know, the dude that was sitting on the train, you could tell he worked out. So I'm being nosy. I'm looking across. I'm looking at his Instagram, and all I see on his Instagram is fitness dudes. Joe Weider this, and Gold's Gym this, and this athlete, and Cali Muscle, and But that's his goal. So everything that was on his Instagram reflected his goals, and he looked like it. He was feeding his food. His food for thought was generating heat towards his desires. He was refining himself and making himself a diamond. But imagine if he was just looking at chicks, right? Looking at naked chicks and looking at ratchetry on his phone. He may not be in the physical shape that he wanted to achieve based on the food for thought that he was taking in and how much it was he taking in. We all like fuckery every once in a while. I love some comedy. I love some entertainment, you know what I'm saying? Even once in a while, I like to hear people's business. Sometimes I like some gossip. This is the reality of the situation. We all do. But how much of it do we take in? Are we taking in gossip for 3, 4, 5 hours a day through TV? Are we taking in, mindless sports for 4, 5, 6 hours a day? Are we taking in just following someone blindly without doing our researches? And when they disappoint us, going to follow someone else. And when they disappoint us, going to follow someone else, but never doing our own research, just regurgitating and never taking on independent study on their own so they could know what they're talking about. So the key, and in conclusion, my whole point is that The Walking Dead is real. This chick is literally beefing right in front of my window. But we're going to keep going. So, The Walking Dead is here. There are people that are literally zombies. And I'm not just talking about crackheads and people that are on drugs. There's people in your family that are there to eat you alive. There's people that you are surrounding yourself with. Your people that you're calling friends, people that you're calling homeboys and homegirls, people that you're calling people that are close to you, that you know are negative, that are vamping on you, that you know are not good for you, that are vamping on you, that are eating your flesh. And look at it this way, right? All the fears that they gave us. We're scared of Trump. We're scared of food, right? We're scared of what's going to happen to the environment. We're scared white people are going to kill us. We're scared of random shooters, right? We're scared of being poisoned, right, with the water. We're scared of being back in slavery. Shit, real fears, right? But the thing is, how are you preparing as the individual, right? Fear the Walking Dead. Fear just being a zombie for fear as well. Fear just being a zombie for fear. Because in the show The Walking Dead, all they used to have to do to get the zombies to move was make a loud sound. Gunshot, siren, something goes off, the zombies are moving towards that direction, mindlessly. Every fear and everything that happens, and this is why people, and I'm going to name a name, such as a Tariq Nasheed, could keep people and has people like that, because he always has a new fear to throw at you. He always has a new news story of what happened to black people and why they are fucked up, right? And different things that's happened. Now you could say Rob Blackstorm, well, he's giving us awareness. That's great. But what about the positive things that are happening? How much positive things does he post? And how many solutions does he give? Right? So we have to look at what's really happening and what's really being produced. So when we are doing our magic rituals, right? Our abundance rituals, our spiritual baths. We have to realize that we have, again, three brains, and we have energy that we carry and a responsibility to refine ourselves, a responsibility to push, a responsibility to be our better selves, a responsibility to lead and again be the Son of Man, as have the Christ consciousness. The Christ is not a person. The Christ is a consciousness. Those thorns around your head are those thorns that they placed on Jesus' head is similar to the uh, the obstacles and the challenges you're going to have to face in order to produce your halo. Because those thorns eventually became a halo, right? On Jesus' head, according to the story. So how are you going to get your halo? We got to bust through those thorns. And those thorns are guards, right? You could put the thorn up to keep the guards up, right? To cover your halo. Or you can see the thorns as being bored into your head and causing your brain to bleed. It all depends on perception. And again, that's up to you. That's up to the third eye. That's up to your consciousness, whatever you decide to do with the light and sound that you are given, right? Are you going to use the sound to be a sheep or be a zombie and just walk wherever the next fear comes from? Or are you going to be a God and move on at the beat of your own drum and move with the beat of wisdom and understanding, of being a builder and a destroyer, a generator, operator, and destroyer that deals with wisdom, strength, and beauty? So we got to fear the walking dead out here. You know, the walking dead are usually people that are amongst us that we're trying to save or we think we can save, or we go into isolation because there's so many zombies out here, which isn't good either, because you still have to build alignments. Just like in the TV show, you have to build with people that have the same ideas and have the same vision and have the same intention as you do. So with that, what I want to say is keep your eye out, fear the walking dead. It's going to be a new moon in a couple of days. I used to do new moon videos and full moon videos. I'm sorry, it's going to be a full moon in a couple of days. I used to do new moon, full moon videos. The reason I stopped doing them is because I feel like it's pretty much the same thing every moon. There's something that you have to do to better yourself and make yourself stronger. If this is if you're living this magic or the spirituality as a culture, meaning that it is a way of life for you, so you're doing this daily, just like when you were in the church and you were praying daily to Jesus and, making all these supplications and going to church every week, you're still doing that just in an independent way and just following a format that you create for yourself, then you will know what you need. You will be in tune with who you are if you're meditating on a, daily basis, or even every other day basis. If you're doing your readings for yourself in the morning or in the evening when you come in, or if you're staking your spiritual baths when you feel down about something, or when you're researching different magic techniques or different spiritual techniques for yourself, then you'll know what you need to do on full moons. You'll know what you need to adjust. And whatever that energy is on that full moon, you'll be able to ride that wave depending on what constellation that full moon is. And you'll be able to harness that energy for yourself if that's the energy that you need at that time. So with that, I want to say peace, 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 power, prosperity. Rob Blackstorm. Let me know if this makes sense in the comments. Please fear the walking dead. Have a great night, morning, or evening. Love y'all. Like, share, subscribe.